So we were skiing with friends for spring break. It was Monday, actually, right after lunch, Jay started to get chills and a fever. And then on Friday, we went to a doctor in Vermont who said, oh, it's just the flu, don't worry. So Sunday, we were leaving Vermont. He said, I can't drive home for 7 hours. Took a flight from Burlington, and on the way home, I called him when he landed, and he said, I still really don't feel well. It was Sunday night, and we went to the emergency room at Cornell. They took the x-ray. The emergency room doctor came in and said, you have impressive pneumonia in both lungs. He said, we're going to admit you for a few days. So he first had the mask, but then by Tuesday they intubated him.
I never thought this was life or death. I thought of this as being, you got some issues, we'll give you a mask, we'll give you an assist. But then when they were going to put me out, that was when it kind of dawned on me. And I looked at Elizabeth and I said, watch over me. And my last words were, watch over me.
When they intubated him, they sedated him. So Jay was unconscious from that point on, and then it just kept getting worse. They kept trying different things.
There are a small proportion of patients like Jay whose lungs are so bad that the ventilator doesn't give enough oxygen. And so he was in this, what we call a severe ARDS phase.
He was in the ICU at Cornell for 2 weeks before they transferred him up to Columbia, but I remember all of a sudden he's a candidate for ECMO. It's a device that allows them to remove your blood externally and oxygenate it through an external machine and then have it come back into your body to oxygenate your body.
I was the beneficiary of an old technology that had only recently become successfully used in adults. Also brought to her attention is really maybe my only hope. And so she made the decision to put me on it.
She's, to me, no different than other family members. They require a lot of information. And in fact, Jay's sedated on ECMO. He doesn't ask any questions. So every day we sort of do the medical rounds and we come up with plans and decisions, and we don't ask him. If there are decisions to be made, we ask her.
And one day I was just sitting on the steps by myself, and he walked out and he saw me and he came over and he sat down next to me.
She was clearly not doing well. And so we sat, had a coffee, and we talked for a while. And
it wasn't even what he said, necessarily. It wasn't something specific. It was just his kindness in taking the time, not in the hospital, on his way home or to an event or wherever he was going, to just sit down and keep me company, because I was by myself. He cared for me as a person. I have great love for him as a result, and I also trusted him with my husband's life.
To me, that's part of my job, and that's, to me, as important as the care that I gave to Jay is the amount of time I spent with Elizabeth.
I think everybody who we came across showed in their own way, in different circumstances, such care and kindness to me that I feel like I don't know that I could have gotten through it without them.
Whenever she had to leave at night because they have young kids, I remember her saying that she was going home, but you could see the fear in her eyes that she didn't want to go home, she didn't want to leave Jay. That's how I built the trust with her, that she would be able to go home in peace, that I was there to take care of Jay.
Sometimes you think that things are not going to happen to you, but suddenly something in your family, it could be your husband, your mother, anybody can be laying down there, and you want somebody to be there and help you with things that you don't understand. We were trying to help her feel more comfortable, because she was suffering, she was sad. She said that she never saw him so sick, and to see him with so many machines, I think she was very scared.
To take care of a patient, you also have to take care of the whole family when they visit. It's something that comes from the heart.
Dr. Chong, he was the optimist, and he said to me that next day, I think he's going to make it, because he had stabilized on the machine.
I had compassionate care throughout my stay. My wife had compassionate care throughout her experience. That was probably the most meaningful aspect of my entire illness, is the level of personal, emotional commitment of these people.
We were very fortunate in where we were, in the care that we received, and I say we because it was not just Jay, it was me too.
The experience was much harder on her than it was on me. I've got a good story to tell in terms of how I got better and how the care I received, and I'm very proud of that. But she is the one that really bears the scars of the illness for a long time, and probably will forever bear the scars.
I do love them. They were wonderful to me and continue to be close to us, and we would do whatever we could to support them. And the fact that they were able to get Jay back to where he's fully himself and functional and our family is intact and our life can go on is just it's a miracle. And I have, now I really am gonna cry. Yeah, I do love them.